Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back to Pixeline Pod. I'm Eloise, and I'm here with Goddess and Beyenairy. Pixeline is a space where creativity, conversation, and community come together. Here, we explore the realities behind making art, the joy, the uncertainty, the questions, and everything in between. There are no perfect answers, just honest conversations about creating in today's world. So, whether you're just starting out or you've been creating for years, you're a part of this. Welcome back, and let's get into it.
Greetings, everyone. We're so glad that you're here with us. And like we always say, each week we dive into a theme around art and creativity, share stories, highlight voices from our Pixeline community, and invite you into the conversation. So that means you can get into the comments and, share your thoughts with us. We'd like for you to settle in because today's conversation is going to be an interesting one. We're talking about something artists have romanticized for centuries.
Yes, we are talking about the idea of the suffering artist.
Mm.
And the question is, does struggle actually create better art? Do pain, heartbreak, trauma, and difficulty that we experience deepen creativity, or have we simply been taught to associate suffering with failure and failure with failure?
Finally, please go ahead.
I think Eloise has a technical problem.
Okay. Let's hold on until it comes back. Well, in the meantime, I can continue on and say, oh, there. Sorry, Eloise, we lost you for a minute.
Yeah, it suddenly just went dead, and I was like, "Oh, I've drifted into space." So I'm not sure what the last thing you heard was, but I invited you to tell us what was happening on our Discord channel this month.
Okay, and I was getting ready to talk. I was getting ready to get into
Great.
that, so I guess that's perfect timing. So, like we've been saying, this month of May, we have our May challenge for our Pixeline members, and that May challenge is Africa One Voice. We've asked our members to create one artwork, any medium. It could be painting, digital, photography, collage, mixed media, 3D, whatever their preference is. We want the artwork to reflect what Africa means to you, the richness of the culture, the heritage, and the identity, unity across diversity, rhythm, movement, storytelling, and the tradition. In the artwork, we want you to include a short caption, poem, or reflection sharing the meaning behind your piece. We want you to post that into our May challenge in the Discord. And we ask that all entries are entered in by the 24th of May. And on the 25th of May, which is Africa Day, we will have the winner. The winner will be announced. And then we're going to feature that on our live podcast after the winner is announced. And they're also going to receive a limited edition hope for participating in the event.
Great. Thank you for explaining all of that to us.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we're going to get a lot of new entrants. We have quite a number of entrants already, and the art is really, really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
They've set a high bar. The caliber is excellent. But I'm sure that we can get a few more in there before we close in a couple of days. So, yeah, please,
Yes.
everybody, let's join the competition. I also thought we'd do something a little different for this next part of the show, because since we're talking about struggle and creativity, we should probably talk a little bit about survival. So today's segment is called the Artist Survival Kit. We're each going to share something that genuinely helps us through difficult creative periods. It doesn't have to be anything profound. It just needs to be something real. So give it a minute's thought. My artist survival tool is creating and collecting textures. I love shiny, colorful things. I love feeling materials and objects and content, anything that has a texture to it. And I love collecting these things without any pressure to create anything at all from them. Sometimes just observing beautiful things helps me to reconnect and to get revitalized. So for sure, in my artist kit, anything that has a texture or anything that's shiny, it helps me keep going. Goddess, what is your go-to survival tool?
So, of course, if you don't know me by now, you got to know that tea has to be in my survival kit. It is the first thing that's in there. It doesn't have to solve any problems whatsoever, but it's gonna be in my survival kit. It's my go-to. So, and I will say there are a few other things that I enjoy that have to be in my survival kit, and that has to be I gotta have my tea. I love sunflowers and Gerber daisies. So anything that's sunflowery or looks like a Gerber daisy, that's gonna make me smile. I'm gonna get all giddy with that. And I love anime and Korean drama. So if I need to decompress, if I need to still maybe be inspired by something, or I just want to take a step back, that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have that tea. I'm gonna watch some kind of anime or Korean drama, something like that. So yeah, that those are the things that are a must have in my survival kit. I gotta have them. Can't do it without it.
Cool. Well, that sounds great. In fact, I'd like to come and have some tea with you sometime.
Yes,
Yeah, at least,
to be
yeah.
honest, I want to come and have some tea with you once you get yourself relocated.
You are welcome anytime. Yeah, at least tea is something that you can drink all day, every
Yes,
day, I think.
yes,
I
yeah.
mean, other artists I know, no names mentioned, would resort to wine, I think, as part of their survival tool.
Yeah, I
And
think
you,
some people,
Binary? Yeah,
yeah, some people may need something a little bit stronger than tea, but my tea, it's fine.
yeah. And you, Binary, what helps you stay sane when all around you is just madness?
Well, I know you think I'm going to say music, but although music is part of my survival kit,
Hmm.
but my go-to survival tool is gardening. When I'm in the garden, I forget time and everything around me, and my mind is empty. And then I can only think about my plants and what I can do to make them happy. When I garden, I don't wear gloves because I really need to feel the earth to make that connection with my garden, because that connection makes me happy, and even if it's for a short while. Um, yeah, my garden is a really important tool, and it has really saved me in very dark times.
Wow, that's really fascinating. The way you describe it, I can just picture you sitting in a garden filled with beautiful flowers and all this lovely energy, full of color around you. Yeah, that's really fascinating, and it makes me look at you in a different light. I see you differently, even though I know you love flowers and feminine, beautiful things in your images. A lot of your stuff is reflective of growth and change. But it's nice to listen to you talk about how deeply you connect with your garden, and I think that's wonderful. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think flowers would connect with me at all. I have to. I have a cactus, and my cactus doesn't survive very well. So yeah.
so I really like hearing that about Binary, because I know she's saying that she likes gardening, but I didn't think that she would be the one that would get her hands dirty. I saw her with the little hat and the little knee pad, so when you're kneeling down, you don't hurt your knees or anything. But the fact that you actually get your hands dirty is I like that, because that means you're intentionally grounding yourself by getting your hands in the dirt and feeling that. So the you and the earth are directly connecting. So I do like that aspect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
All right, guys. Well, please, people in the chat,
mhm.
tell us what's in your survival kit. What gets you through creative stumps? Do you have difficult seasons when you're suffering from burnout? And there's no judgments if any of your answers mention food. So, yeah, go ahead and let us know what
Choc-
keeps you sane.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Uh-huh. Good. Our topic of the week, which it seems none of the three of us has any problem with, and that is suffering needed to create great art?
Mm.
Yeah, Goddess, take us away with this one.
My answer is no. I don't think we need suffering to create great art. Yet at the same time, we look back and historically, we've had some of the greatest artists have had. They have these troubling, lives that happen when they create such great art, or they create the art that we find so fascinating. And when we look at that art, we can't necessarily um tap into, or we don't necessarily know that they're actually struggling or they're having a hard time, because we don't see it in the art. So I
Yeah,
don't necessarily think we need it, yet I think more often than not it happens, and we as a person on the outside, we just don't know about it.
yeah. So society connects pain with creativity. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of very well-known famous artists have
Mm-hmm.
suffered, and through that suffering process have obviously become great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of my favorite artists is Frida Kahlo. She had polio as a child, and she nearly died when she was 18. She was in a terrible, terrible bus accident, actually. And
Mm-hmm.
she suffered a lot of pain, obviously a lot of trauma, and she created incredible artworks. I mean, we all know about Vincent van Gogh. He had a mental illness problem. He lived in poverty. He experienced many, many health crises, including cutting off his ear, which everybody knows about. And I mean, he's one of the greatest artists to ever have lived. Same. Oh, there are so many. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many. Jean-Michel Basquiat. He was. He grew up and created in a time of huge social angst. Um, Obviously, being a black artist in a white, predominantly male dominated art world, I mean, he really struggled, and his social commentary showed the anxiety that he was living through. And again, incredible art. So it seems like because of these artists, people expect that in order to have incredible art, you must suffer.
Mm-hmm.
How many incredible artists do we know who have not suffered?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those,
I'd have to really think about that.
yeah, because those aren't usually pushed to the forefront, right? And
Yeah,
I think the reason for that too, for us assuming that art needs to have some kind of pain or some kind of struggle or suffering behind it, is because um, it's almost as if you're a happy creator, or if you're having um, there's no struggle or anything attached to your creativity. I think to some extent is it may be like degraded or belittled a little bit, and thinking about our the last topic, or one of the topics we had in regards to, is exposure enough, or do you have to be compensated? One of the things that we touched on again was, it may not be seen as, real work, because it's not manual, so to speak, or it may not,
right.
it's not seen as hard. So when you have a happy creator, it, for them, we may not know that much about them because they didn't have a struggle per se, or the work wasn't hard for them to create. So I think that's part of it too. When we sit and think and we say, oh, there must be some sort of struggle. There must be some kind of pain or anguish behind it in order for the art to be great. And I totally don't agree with that. I don't think we need to suffer in order for
Yeah,
creativity to be, to be good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's I agree with you. I agree with you. I think the sad thing is that when we create beautiful art, which obviously also comes from emotion, it's just
Mm-hmm.
not depressive or sad
Right.
or dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're finding the light and the energy and the inspiration. That tends to be seen more as commercial art. That's art that you want to buy to kind of decorate your home. It's got to kind of like match your lounge suite or your carpet. Um, Whereas obviously dark, uh, dangerous art is what is then considered intellectual and prized. And we need to change that narrative. I mean, even famous artists who painted landscapes were, artists like Monet, for instance. I mean, he had incredible landscapes, but people saw him as passive and not taking a lot of risks. Um, yeah, we need to change the narrative around the fact that art can be incredible and very skillful without, as you said, the artist having to go through so much trauma.
Yeah, and I also think that from those external forces with people maybe being pressuring or saying that art has to be it has to have some kind of struggle in order for it
Yeah,
to be good. I definitely don't agree with that. Like one of the things they love to say, I think in the fashion world, is beauty must be, it must be painful. No, it doesn't.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be painful to be good. So
yeah,
I've always had that that feeling, that notion, because I don't need to struggle or suffer to have beautiful feelings that I express. So yeah, this is one topic that definitely has got me, because I totally don't agree that it has to be a struggle.
yeah. Well, I mean, if I just look at the artists that we are surrounded by,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't for 1 minute think that none of these artists have gone through something traumatic or have suffered something or have
Mm-hmm.
experienced loss, and yet their art is uplifting, their art is beautiful. So I think our community is proof of that. That
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just
Yeah.
because you suffer, you don't need to make not bad art, dark
Yeah.
art.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but the main thing about it is that the creativity, the feelings, they even they come from the same place, right? Whether whether the artist struggles or the artist doesn't struggle, whether it's easy
yeah,
for them or hard for them, it's still an expression. It's still something that is telling the story. So it shouldn't weigh whether it was a struggle or not. How people perceive it, like, oh, this art is better because the artist struggled.
yeah,
That doesn't make any sense. If you like the art, you like the art. It doesn't matter if they struggled or not. You shouldn't. I don't think you should use that as a means of weighing it out to be good or not. If the artist struggled, so if
yeah,
for me, if however they got to the art, however they got to the work, I want to appreciate however it came, and I don't necessarily want to go into it feeling like they need to struggle, but if they did, I want to appreciate whatever the journey was for them to get
yeah,
there.
yeah. Yeah, I think, when I mean we've discussed this before, when we like art when we feel a connection to it,
Mm,
and we feel a connection to the artist, and sometimes that connection, well, the reason we feel the connection is because we feel an authenticity around it, isn't it?
mm, mm,
You like an artwork because you feel connected to it, you feel it's authentically coming from the creator. And I
right.
think that makes great art,
Mm,
when the art is authentic and the creator is expressing their emotions, and those emotions could be joyful and full of love and full of uh yeah, I don't know,
Mhm.
butterflies. And the fact that it's authentic and the feeling is real, the emotion is real, that makes the artwork a great piece of art.
Yeah, it's amazing though. At the same time, when the artist does, they do struggle, or you do find out about that background, and you look at the art and you're like, I would have never known. And you can
Yeah,
sit there and you question, how is it that they created something so beautiful, so vibrant, if they were having, such a struggle. And it makes me think they did it because that was a place that they were trying to get to, and it was in their mind, and that was something that they were feeling. So this is how they got there. They got there by creating it. So I always look at that too.
yeah. So, I mean, that leads us to our creative mythbuster.
Hmm.
Is it true you need to suffer to create meaningful art?
Mm, like I said, I don't I don't think you need to suffer in order to create great art.
Yeah,
It's not a requirement. But at the
yeah,
same time, the struggle, the hardship, as well as the happiness and the gratitude, they all tie, they all pour into the art that we see. They all pour into the the art that that's shared with the world. So I wouldn't necessarily say an artist needs to be exhausted or to push themselves to create better art.
yeah,
That's they you don't have to like push yourself to the end of the earth, and get your paint till you get to the bones of your hands, or however you create your art. You don't
yeah,
necessarily have to struggle to create beautiful art, but at the same time, I think when you are struggling and you are trying to work your way through that, then that creativity can actually help you and save you through that journey. So,
yeah,
you don't necessarily need to, tap into or struggle, but at the same
yeah.
time, when you're struggling, I can see how the art can save you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, look, I think pain can definitely shape creativity.
Hmm.
But I think suffering is not a requirement in order to have like a deep artistic experience. I think joy and love and curiosity, these things are also meaningful, you know?
Hmm.
And yeah, you mentioned earlier, exhausted artists don't make better art just because they're exhausted.
No,
So you don't have to destroy yourself or, yeah, put yourself through trauma in order to create something beautiful. So
it's
yeah, I think we've busted that myth for sure.
yeah, it's actually hard for me. I don't know about anybody else, but if I'm tired, exhausted, or no, it's not a good time.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I'm
hard
gonna
to be creative almost.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get frustrated if I'm
Yeah,
tired and I'm exhausted, and I'm trying to get something done. If I'm not getting what I want, or if I can't think or be clear in what I'm trying to get to, then that's only gonna
yeah,
make it worse. So no, I don't
yeah.
think that's a good thing at all. I can't do it exhausted. I don't know about anybody else, but maybe
Yeah, yeah,
that's
for sure.
yeah,
I
whatever.
imagine in my brain, like this artist kind of going completely crazy and throwing paint at the wall and slashing his canvas with a knife. And you know what? Now that painting is going to sell for like $1 million. But
Yeah.
hey, what about the artist who's just sitting at her easel and she's painting delicately and she's putting incredible detail in her paintings and she's listening to great music, on the radio. And yeah, that art is as valuable and as important, I think. So yeah,
Yeah, I gotta agree that
yeah,
either way you look at it, it comes from the same place. But and maybe there's someone out there that likes that angry artist that really gets off on how they create their work. They love it. It looks, oh, this looks angry. This looks like they really struggled. Okay, well, if
yeah,
you if that works for you, then fine.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's,
yeah,
to each his own. So we all can find
yeah,
some kind of ground, even in the struggling artist as well as the artist that's not struggling. So oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. In Binary, did you have anything to say in regards to, what are your thoughts in regards to artists, whether they need to struggle, or do you think it's okay if they, can just get it while they have to?
First of all, I think there's a distinction between struggle and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I think about suffering, I think about people who are chronically ill or something like that. And struggle is more like having to work hard for something, and sometimes it works, sometimes not. So those are two different things. Personally, I think if you suffer or struggle, it will add something to your art.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can see it in your art, and it will add an extra layer to it, and also extra meaning to the work. So I personally like art that is a little bit dark in the feelings, because I think it has a message, and I appreciate that more than just a simple picture of a butterfly. Um, a lot of AI artists struggle. Some people are chronically ill, and that's why they have turned to AI. So that is something to think about. Personally, I started creating with AI when I was in a dark period, and it gave meaning to my art. And I created things that I couldn't have done it if I hadn't had that traumatic experience. So yeah, I think struggle is needed for art.
Okay.
She definitely touched on something that I couldn't express, but I gotta agree. Like when I'm not feeling good and there's something that I can't necessarily express any other way, tapping into AR, it allowed me to do it. And there there is dark art that, even, well, in comparison to some of my stuff, it looks dark. um it is dark. And there have been times when I wanted to be dark because I was struggling, but I didn't think about it from her perspective when she was saying there's a difference between the suffering and the struggle. So yeah, she just flipped my argument. So yeah.
But it doesn't mean that when you struggle that your art has to be dark. It's all
No.
about the
No.
feeling that's in the art.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So the
agree.
art can be colorful, but if the feeling is there, if the subject is still the emotion the artist feels, then yeah.
But I think I hear you. I hear you. And I think if you are creating through a struggle, like you've explained, I think yes, it can give meaning to art. But I also think that you don't need to struggle, and you can still have meaning in your art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You don't
yeah.
need to struggle, but if the struggle is there, but I guess I wouldn't want, I wouldn't want someone to feel like they need to struggle or they need to suffer in order to create art.
Yeah, but the question is, do you need to struggle in order to have great art? So the converse is, if you haven't struggled, or if you don't struggle, your art is not good.
That's not what I'm saying,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
um,
Go ahead.
No, I'm
I
not saying
think
that's what you're
I think
saying. I'm
I
saying
think
that's the converse of
the
the
yeah,
question.
I think the art has more meaning. It has a it's the meaning is deeper than when you're happy and um, haven't experienced trauma or something like that. It's different. Um,
It has a heavier feel to it.
yeah, again, it's all about the feeling that an artwork has. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean though. I know what you mean between um the I guess to say it has a when I say it has a heavier feel, it just it's more to it. It's a bigger bite, but it doesn't necessarily mean that art that doesn't have that is lesser. But I think I understand what you're saying.
I think it's all about the message that the artist wants to show in their work.
Mm.
I think that's the most important part for me when I look at art. Um, Happy art
yeah.
doesn't. Um, I don't feel things with happy art. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a bit.
I get
But
it.
what do you term happy art? I'm really intrigued. What
No,
is happy
I mean,
art?
I understand what she's saying, but yeah, I want to hear it too. But I laugh because I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I like cute art when it comes to cats, but when it comes to things in the world,
Mhm.
I think it's more personal than general. Like, oh, I can't explain it. Like for me personal, I think when I look at art that has a deeper meaning,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
connects with me.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
about the connection with the person who's looking at the art
Mhm.
and the artists who have made it.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
connection, that's for me is important. I need to feel connection to the artwork and
yes,
also sometimes with the artist. So it's also important to know who the artist is behind the artwork.
I I feel really good about what she's saying. Yeah, I know
you
what you
feel
mean.
what?
I feel I feel really good about about what she's saying because I get what she's saying. That's why I'm over here giddy because it's like yeah that's it. So what was I saying earlier? And but I couldn't put it in the words like she did. But either way, I
Yeah,
understand and what how she's saying it is yeah that's I understand it. I get what she means when she says I'm not going to say that happy art doesn't move me, but there's a difference between the like a superficial happy art and something else that's a little bit deeper and it may be dark. It gets like it may resonate with
yeah,
me better. I may feel something more in it, and it may come across as, oh, that's dark art, but I can love it. So I get it. Like if you you would have asked me what kind of art that I like. I mean, I like all kinds of art, but this this just makes me now want to pay closer attention to what makes me sit back and what make like when I smile and I get that laugh and that little nice little little chuckle or something. I may not sit with that art as long as I would with the art that may be a bit dark, and I sit back in it and I look at it for a minute. So that's how I'm thinking now. Like I'm
but
gonna
there should be a distinction though between art that is dark, which I think is what is appealing to Beyenairy, I
Uh,
think. Art that is dark versus art that's being created through struggle. Because, as an example, like if I just think of Van Gogh's Sunflowers,
Mhm.
I mean, that's not dark art. That's
o-
beautiful
okay.
art. That's light
Yeah.
and bright and but it
Okay.
was still he still struggled as an artist, but he created a beautiful painting. Do you see what I'm saying?
So yeah.
So there's
So
a difference between dark
yeah.
art and struggle art.
So that's okay. So yeah, that's the part where you can look at something that's dark and the
Yeah.
artist can be fine. Like there's no there's no struggle there at all. So yeah, I guess it's more so yeah, I don't know. I think we just totally got away from the question because the question was, do we have to struggle to have great art? But you know, I guess the easy answer is no. But if you don't necessarily know the background, you don't you don't know what the artist is really going through. They could have something really seriously going on, and you're looking at the art, and it's happy art,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you wouldn't know. So maybe dark art just um maybe what we're feeling is is tying into or is tapping into or it's prickling or picking at or hitting certain
Yeah.
feelings, and we resonate more with those feelings because
What do
maybe
you think, B? What
that's
about me, my distinction? Am I kind of touching on what you're saying?
Yeah. Uh, when you look at my art, there's a lot of flowers and softness, and but behind that, there are a lot of dark
yeah.
thoughts, a lot
Hmm.
of dark emotions. So
Right.
dark art isn't necessarily the right term for it. I think
Yeah.
it's about meaning and feeling.
Yeah.
So dark
Yeah.
art, I, w- I,
May
I'm-
not.
I don't think we should say dark art and happy art.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Because
we're being surface. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
we're being
it's more
surface with it.
it's
But
more about feelings really,
feeling,
and
right.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
So
and it's subjective. Everybody looks at art
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
so
I don't think we can answer this question with a yes or
yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I asked you. I'm glad I asked you what you thought because this is more in tune to what I was thinking. Like that underlying and yeah, you my thing my the surface answer for me was yeah, you don't I think it's because I don't want you to struggle, right? I as the artist, I don't want anyone to struggle or suffer. So
Yeah.
yeah, my answer is no. You shouldn't have to struggle or you shouldn't have to go through some adverse conditions in order to create great art. But yeah, this that question is kind
Yeah.
of it's surface to what when you talk about the feelings you get. So that's and yeah, that's yeah. Now I know why
Okay,
I'm
so
like
this is an interesting
yeah.
question, and I think this is our seventh episode, right? And I think in 7 episodes, this is the first time we haven't all. I don't want to say agreed because it's not really about agreeing, but
Mm-mm.
we haven't come to like a conclusion.
Yeah,
So I think it would be great, really, to have our community members comment on this. I think we've got to run some sort of poll on Discord. I think we even got to do a poll on maybe or an article on Webby Social and get some sort of community engagement because I think this is a great question and I think everyone is going to have a different answer.
yeah. I
What do you guys think? What do you think? Should we do that?
Yeah, I think it's a good
yeah.
idea.
I think
And then we report back. Then we come back to our community and say, hey, this is what you guys are saying, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really went into that question
Yeah.
on the surface. I didn't even, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true.
yeah,
I think Binary's raised some good points here. So
she did.
Yeah.
I think we need to think about this topic really more in
Yeah.
depthly, get feedback from the community, and revisit this. So yeah, I think we're going to do that. I
Yeah.
think we're going to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's
We
In the
look,
dangerous to ask
meantime,
me to talk.
yeah, look, I was getting ready to say we stumped our own toes with that, and this is yeah,
yeah.
we need you to
No,
come in.
we love
Yeah.
Binary's input. We want
No.
Binary's input.
Yeah,
Because
I was
we are the, not always, but I mean, we are kind of the butterfly brigade, and then, yeah, Binary swoops in and
There,
says,
that's me, the
hey, wait
dark
a
cloud
minute. No,
hovering over the
no,
butterfly.
no, it's not a dark cloud at all.
no,
No, it's like
I
a,
think I mean she brings in the real because it's
yeah,
like
it's
she
not a
brings
dark
in the
cloud.
real aspect of it. I don't think it's dark,
Yeah,
but like I said, when coming into it, I was really surface with what like
yeah,
but and this is why I like to talk to binary because that's when you have you're all and this is no shade or no not throwing anything, but it's like I could be like floating around and like yeah, and then she'll say, hey, check this out though, did you think about
yeah,
it this way? And then it makes me like, oh, let me
yeah.
sit in that for a minute. So yeah.
Well,
So
hey, that's what we're about, right? We're about having honest conversations
yes,
and learning and taking on board other people's opinions and yeah, being able to say, "Hey, I thought this way, but actually I'm changing my mind," you
look,
know?
I'm gonna say this is probably the best conversation that we've had because
Because we haven't come to a conclusion.
and it's not that we necessarily need one. It's just the fact that we had this topic and it got expanded outside of we
Yeah,
have this
yeah.
topic and we set these boundaries and we say yeah, it's a yes or a no, and nah, they
Yeah.
came in with
Yeah.
with the gray area saying nah, the gray area is way bigger than yes or no. So yeah. So
Okay, so
yeah.
before we suffer anymore, or don't suffer anymore, we still have to figure out what we're actually doing. Are we suffering or aren't we? And that's an important question now. Watch, everybody's art's going to change. Tomorrow we're all creating different stuff. And that's going to be really interesting.
I can't, I can't do
Yeah.
it.
But before we head that way, let's talk about what we're actually loving. Let's embrace what we're loving. And I would like to ask Binary to go first.
I'm
Tell
sorry.
us,
I'm crying here.
girlfriend, what are you loving this week?
What I love this week is mural canvas. It's a digital art frame. But it's an art frame for digital art. I think it's a perfect way to display my artwork without having to order any prints.
Mm.
I use
Ah,
the mural app and then I can change my art frequently. I can also make playlists with certain themes. Yeah, it's no clutter, just hanging one art frame on the wall and perfect for when you don't have a lot of space in your home. Um,
oh, that's fantastic. Wow. I really like that.
yeah,
Hmm.
So, like, how big is it?
it's pretty big. This one is the biggest size that they have. And they have a
Okay.
smaller size, and you can also make it landscape.
Yeah.
So you can turn the frame around. And yeah, I, re- I really love it. They have, for the frames, they have different possibilities. So if you have a black, wooden, or a white, those
Okay.
kind of things, you can always choose. And yeah, I really like it because I was looking for a way to display my art uh, at home.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of space left on my walls, so
Yeah.
and ordering prints is, yeah, it's expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would rather spend a lot of money to buy this art frame than every
Right.
time order prints. And I think it's also because my work is digital. I think it's the right
Yeah.
way to display it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can keep uploading new artworks
Yeah.
and have a theme or however you're feeling in the moment. Can you make it static or it always moves?
No, most of the time it's static. You
Okay.
can swipe if you are bored with the image,
Oh,
then you
okay.
get another
Yeah.
image. But yeah, it can be static, or you can make a slideshow. Then you can swipe
Yeah.
through all the images, and yeah,
Oh, that is very cool. I really like that.
yeah. It also makes me think about a subject that we can maybe talk about in future pods about how to display digital art.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
so, what is the best way to display it, and what are the do's and the don'ts?
Yes. Okay. That sounds like a great topic. It's on the
Mhm.
list. Um, I like it. I like it. Thank you for sharing that. Uh, Goddess, what are you loving this week?
So this week I am loving. I'm gonna say an open call. I can't say if I've done art submissions before, but I don't know if that's the same as an open call. But I'm doing this open call for Webby Social. I'll say this. It'll be my first open call with them, participating with them. And I'm pretty excited
Okay.
about it. I already got my artwork. I just had to fine tweak it. There were some things in it that I wanted to do. I had to upscale it because I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do with the artwork. So I didn't want to leave it as it was. So I upscale it, and I think I'm ready to submit it. I've been kind of anxious about it. So yeah, I'm excited about an open call that I'm doing this week.
Oh, that's cool. Open calls are always fun. I know yeah, they make you think. I like open calls because it's almost like it just gives you like a little bit of a direction in creating something.
Mm,
Makes you think about a topic or, yeah, an emotion,
yeah,
whatever. I like that about open calls. Yeah.
it definitely gave me an idea. I wasn't even thinking. I wouldn't even consider it, but I'm gonna submit it and I'm gonna see what happens.
Cool. Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
So I am loving this. Um,
Sunlight. I know what that is.
oh, you know it. Oh,
Yes,
that's
I
awesome.
love crystals.
Oh, cool. So me too. I also love crystals. I like
Yes.
shiny things. But on Monday, I did my level 1 Reiki course, which I've been wanting to do for some time, and I finally
Mm-hmm.
managed to set aside. Well, I've been studying it for a while, and I finally managed to set aside Monday in which to do like the finalization and to do my first Reiki treatment and like on someone who isn't me or a family member.
Hey.
And yeah, I part of the treatment is using selenite to
Yes.
clear
The
negative
cleaning.
energy, yeah, for cleansing, for personal protection. And
Yeah.
she had obviously the Reiki master had a range of crystals, of selenite
Mm-hmm.
crystals out,
Mm-hmm.
and I intuitively was drawn to one. It's this one.
Yes.
Yeah, and I used it to cleanse in my session, and
Mm-hmm.
I brought it home. And in fact, I'm in my studio right now, and I have it in my studio, and
Yes.
I've been cleansing myself with it every day since, and I feel great. And
Yes.
maybe it's a placebo, and maybe it's not, but it doesn't matter. I'm just loving the feeling. So yes, selenite, me, we're having a good week.
Yes, so yeah, I'm a crystal fan. I wear something different. I don't even know if you can see this, but I wear something
Yeah.
different like every day.
Okay,
So
okay.
I have, people have closets for clothes. I need like a room
Yeah.
for all my crystals. I have a lot.
Oh my word, we have to get
Yeah, I
together.
have a lot.
And
I need to
yeah,
open up a store. That's how many crystals.
I feel the same sometimes. Yeah. In fact, I think my husband feels like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I have
what
a
do you
lot.
buy another one for? Don't you have enough? No, I don't have this one.
Yes, yeah, and then I
Yeah.
go and I look and I'm like, oh yeah, I got that like how long ago? But well, this okay. This is y'all can be together. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. So I'm loving all this good positive energy. I want to say in closing, remember that struggle shapes art. We're learning that maybe it's the only way to shape art. We are definitely going to investigate this further. But in the meantime, just be honest in your creations. Let your humanity flow into your pieces. Feel, put your emotions on the canvas, whether it's digital or physical. Put your emotions out there. And sometimes just create something beautiful. Yeah. The preview, next week's episode, we're going to be discussing, are artists becoming content creators? Do you ever feel the pressure just to perform creatively online? Do you feel like you have to entertain people with your art? When was the last time that you actually created something without the thought of posting it, of putting it out there? You just created it and you kept it for yourself and you didn't show anybody. That's what we're going to be talking about next week.
So yeah, that got me thinking already. But this um, mm,
Hmm.
so this was a good episode.
I'm glad you liked it. Uh, but Goddess is about to take us out, but I do want to say, like all podcasts do, please like the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe to our channel. We're here for you. We're here for the collectors. We're here for the artists. We're here for the wannabe artists, the wannabe collectors. And we really need your help to grow and get our message of inclusivity out there. So please do like us, do subscribe to us, do share us with all your friends, make comments, be part of the conversation because we really want you to be.
Yes, and we hope that today's conversation sparked something in you. We would love to hear it in the comments. We want you to first we are as always we want to be grateful to everyone that supports us, everyone in the background that helps us out. I'm getting tongue tied, but yeah, I'm kind of still in awe about our discussion today, and I think it was a good one. So we hopefully you'll come back and join us. So as always, we want you to take care, be safe, always stay creative, and we hope to see you next week, same time, same place on the Pixel on Pod. See you next time.
Bye bye.